would have to be him, but then it would have to be like, you know, at least 2 other players on top of that. Like Dapper would have to have a really good game.
I was going to point him out. That's the player that you'd look at and say, this is the one who's going to go nuts. Dapper just is one of those young, burgeoning star players. He's coming into his own, and you would expect he's going to have sequences throughout this series where he carries his team to keep them afloat, just to see if anyone else can come online. PTR close to Mini, and Madline's very quick, very aggressive coming outside.
Oh,
PTR's he has no idea yet, but he's gone for free.
Wait, who actually got that kill? Okay, that was Shush down on the low ground. I was wondering because there was 2 people airborne, more or less. That is so quick outside control. Not even any smokes or anything thrown by Mad Lions to actually get into this position, which is, I mean, at 1 minute and 20 seconds, they already own all of the yard. Mitch trying to bring it back, but even going for that fight is really dangerous. And look at the jumping shots coming through. Acor wants to take him down through the grid, but he's running out of bullets. And now I can't even believe that he's still alive, trying to reload and duck in behind. And it's a 3-on-3, but the bomb is going to be going down in the B bomb side. What a chaotic start to a round. Yeah,
that is Mad Lions taking advantage of a hectic situation, and FPX trying to retake outside. They've done it, but it's taken a lot of resources, a lot of manpower. Great shot from Bubsky, and this should end it. Asilian's going to hold on to the vents. Dapper has a return, but it's going to be the pistol round, likely to Mad Lions. There's Dapper with 1 more now, and a single opponent, Shush, just waiting on the other side of the silo, and the bomb is planted. Dapper, no idea where to look. It was a heroic effort. There was still some time to work with, but Mad Lions going to take that pistol way too close for how that started.
Yeah, it looked like it was about to be perfect. I mean, if they'd won that fight at Heaven, surely it would have actually worked out that way. But they sort of almost ran out of bullets. A little bit strange. Had a pretty powerful start, no matter what, here to the game. 1-0 in their favor.
That's I'm scratching my head a little bit, wondering how PTR didn't see that coming. You'd think that practice pistol round, he would have known the timing a little bit, but he was going to die like 3 different ways. 2 players on the low ground, 2 players on mini roof, and he was aware of none of it. That caught him real off guard. Crashies with an opening kill.
Yeah, they've made their way down to low ground, so I'm expecting they're just going to try and see if they can trade that kill for a very quick bomb plant and then hope that there's not going to be any kind of a retake possible. Mitch will go down, and Bubsky out here could definitely find an easy kill on John T. He's very low on health, and he's got the UMP, though. Started to back off a little bit. They might just want to save the guns they have here, FPX, rather than trying to go for any kind of a retake.
Yeah, I think that's what you go for, especially the smokes, the Molotov on Janji as well. Bubsky is hunting. And I have to imagine that the first place he's going to go to right off the bat is going to be towards CT spawn. That's Janji with low HP there. So a couple players from FPX likely to go down, or at least 1. No one else from Mad Lions hunting outside of Bubsky towards CT spawn, but he's definitely going to find Janji.
Yeah, Acor with the deagle out, actually. Almost, it looked like he was going to walk into crashes, but yeah, that's going to be an easy kill.
I think one of the important factors we can kind of talk about for FPX, you know, we touched on Dapper and obviously the desperation of an old school PTR performance. We've seen Crashy have a couple individual maps. I've yet to see him put together what I feel is a complete series out of him, but he seems to always have like 1 map in a series where he just goes real hard in the paint.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you probably, again, you need 3 out of 5 at least to have, you know, one of the best games we've seen out of them so far. It's not enough if it's, you know, if it's 1 of them or 2 of them per map. I think Mad Lions will be able to handle that. So they're asking a lot. It's a lot of things that have to come together for this to really make sense.
Opening kill in the previous round went to FPX, and unfortunately we got to see the replay, which was just Asilian missing the vent and kind of wandering through a smoke into mini.
Yeah.
So a freebie passed over to FPX that they didn't necessarily have to fight too much for. And now things slow down. Mad Lions have had 2 very aggressive rounds to start this, and now they're looking for pushes. And Roy, he might get rewarded here. 2 players in the secret stairs.
Yeah, should be some good headshots with the Krieg. Oh, sorry, with the Galil. No Kriegs yet.
I was gonna say.
It's too soon. Jumping the gun a little bit.
He's gonna be farming though. Fine shooting with the Galil, tapping away.
Ooh.
Krieg would have had that kill.
Yeah. Oh. See, that's why you want the Krieg.
Bomb being planted will be a 3rd round for Mad Lions. I think the last thing up in the air in this round is if they want to go hunt down that Galil in PTR's hands. And I don't see any reason for PTR to stick around. I think you save that weapon, you pass it off to a teammate. That's some nades. You have to think PTR is going to upgrade to the AWP. 3-0 to start for the Danish side.
Yeah, they're going to be happy about that. I think this next one is going to, again, just because of the level of the opponent that they're playing right now, you want to turn it around pretty much as soon as you can. Like,
immediately.
Yeah, getting that slow start into, it's like, oh, we almost did it on the first rifle round, we'll come back in the 5th round and it'll be better, or the 6th round. It's like, that's not going to be good enough. I really need them to step it up early here. So we'll see. They get to save the Galil, and again, I mean, that's not bad. It's a super functional weapon, so I don't think that's much of a downgrade. No AWP. That's the only thing that I kind of wish they would have had that tool on that yard area. I guess it's not bad with the grenades that they have and everything else. It's too soon to really tell. And Mad Lions still have held on to the MP9 and the MAC-10. So maybe there is a chance here for FPX to do something in this first rifle round.
You'd hope so. Otherwise, if the SMGs get upgraded into rifles, that's going to be a pretty dangerous start for Mad Lions. See how this hit goes. Ascillion probing outside. Pretty typical utility usage towards door. A lot of smokes down on the mini-map. I think that's four smokes used so far between these two teams. Yeah, look at the nades that FPX has to work with. Again,
that's kind of ridiculous.
They've just done a utility dump to make sure that nothing fast-paced can come out. Now, the unfortunate thing for FPX at this point is you don't have enough nades to sustain you for the rest of the round. Mad Lions have everything available. Smoke wall is going to get set up. They still have their Molotovs. They still have, I think, infinite flashbangs, it feels.
There is a smoke and a diffuse kit still on the FPX side at the very least, which could be very, very valuable if that bomb goes down. You definitely want to have that tool left still. Can't believe it, 50 seconds, and they're down to just a couple of flashbangs on that CT side. PTR looked like the timing was good for it, but somehow he dodged the... I think Roy, he was completely flashed as he ran in there. Could have easily gone down. 40 seconds on the clock, and Crashy's close enough by maybe to be able to pick up a kill. The two SMGs on the other side, and they're actually slowing it down even further. They're going to go for that A-bomb side, aren't they? With 30 seconds here.
Feels like they have to. Acor and Lobby with the bomb as well. PTR, as he was dropping down the secret stairs, just put down that final smoke. So I think Roy's going to attack it a little bit. Apply some pressure to PTR. Maybe you force a rotation, but we're getting down to it now. 20 seconds, and there goes Roy. That was the fake. This position from Crashies is going to be so tough to clear out. Shush has no idea. He's down for free, and Dapper with a double kill. And that ends things. Ascillion falls last in a first round for FPX with 4 players surviving.
Yeah, triple kill for Dapper in that round, and that's beautiful. That's exactly what they needed, and it actually looked like Mad Lions they weren't really ready to run into PTR in that moment. There was, I mean, at that point in time, still time for them to do whatever they wanted. They could have maybe crunched B, which actually felt like maybe that's what they wanted to do originally. But then when they couldn't kill him or catch him, they were like, all right, we'll just slow it down. And that, I think, was probably not a good idea.
It's hard to know for Mad Lions, but with such a massive utility advantage, the fact that they slowed it down made it much easier for FPX to feel comfortable. Remember, that whole round got stalled out with PTR dropping 1 smoke in secret stairs at about the 40-second mark. Now he's got the opening pick with the AWP, immediate trade. Molotov is going to hold them back, but Mitch cannot fight for this control.
Yeah, that's a trade they'll take. Acor, always worth watching with this AWP. And that could easily be one of the big problems that they're going to run into here, FPX. Maybe especially early on before they establish a really strong economy. If he's going to be getting a couple of kills per round, Acor, with that one, it's going to get really rough. John G going down to Roy. And that's a huge problem for that A-bomb site.
Yeah, Ascillion's going to find this kill. This is a sneaky little play, a quiet sneak out the squeaky door. And Dapper, the only one in the upper bomb site. There's just way too many choke 4 points for him to deal with. Roy, a nice kill onto Crashies. And this one slipped away. That's Mad Lions. They drop a Molotov down the vent and just walk out squeaky door. Dapper had no idea. Nice bold play on the Danes, and Roy finishes it off. Triple kill in the round for him.
And that's way, way too early to let them back into the game here. I don't know if FPX wanted to force. They could buy on 3, and 2 of them would be very questionable.
I think you go for a half buy if you're FPX. I think you just go for small buys, light armor, no helmet, upgraded pistols, a little bit of utility if you want. But again, you're exactly right. This is too early to let Mad Lions respond. So it's still early in the half. You have a chance to recover still. You just want to have that strong buy. You don't want to force buy right on the edge, only 5 rounds into the game.
Yeah, a little bit of an investment. Bobski going to go straight for the vent dive. Ready in case someone was going to try and follow him. Not happening just yet. But he's going to find PTR around the corner with the Deagle here, and that's going to be really advantageous to the AK. Trying to hunt him down, but Bobski is so aware of what might be coming. That's actually a pretty heads-up play. And 4 people on the other side. Mitch, I don't know how you even try and deal with that. He goes down at the end, and they're just ready to take the fight. They have no fear at all of those pistols.
Yeah, that was already some desperation coming out of the FPX players. Mitch and Crashies really going for the heroic effort to try and turn the round. Would have been something spectacular. Not to be an A-core, you have to imagine he's going to hit this shot that he hits. I don't know. This feels like one of those shots that you would imagine is 100% of the time.
Yeah, if Dapper walks into it, for sure. The only thing that would do it would be a jump, but then he would also give away any kind of surprise. Just waiting for it. Maybe just looking for exits at this point in time instead. Why not? But yeah, this is, again, the half-buy makes total sense, and I don't really disagree with them doing it. But the downside of doing it is obviously when you don't get any kills at all in this round,
right?
Suddenly Mad Lions have such a better economy.
You're essentially giving Mad Lions a free round of buffer behind this.
Yeah.
And they're looking good. Roy 9-3, Bubsky 5-2 in the early stages for Mad Lions, and Dapper willing to just keep the armor. Doesn't ever turn the corner. Can't blame him.
What a start it is. Actually, Roy leading the board right now, 9-3 on him. So that's a good scoreline, I think, to come into a game with. And I guess we should remind everyone that Mad Lions did pick Nuke. That's at least worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, they have a lot going for them, aren't they? I mean, the #1 seed, they won both of their groups in each phase. FPX, the last seed, obviously in the playoffs, number 8. Danish teams seem to just really enjoy Nuke.
It's a tradition, isn't it, at this point in time? Long-standing.
They've taken it away from the Swedes. Normally we would have said, you know, this was always a NIP map back in the day.
Used to be NIP, yeah. NIP and Very Games had some incredible games on this map.
Yes.
That were always like 16-14 for some odd reason.
The original rivalry. Back when Nuke was like 13-2 halves for the CT side.
Yeah. It's really worth going back out watching. We should do that at some point. Go back and watch some of those games.
We should do like a classic games night.
Yeah. Now, they've pushed them back on the ramp, but PTR will still pick up a kill on Roy. That's outside, and it's a really important kill to get. A return, though, on Dapper and Bubsky. Trying to be clever and sneak through, but he's going to get caught by Crashies, though. 3-on-4 with 55 seconds on the clock. They can still make this work, Mad Lions, if they can pick up a kill down here on the lower bomb side, but
Cillian's not going to check this. Yeah, Mitch is in a perfect position. Doesn't even consider looking to the right. So Shush has an opportunity to get a kill. A-Core needs to find this, but it doesn't even matter anymore. Nice round from FPX. Both rounds they've won have been 4 players surviving. So the rounds they win, they're handling very, very well.
That's absolutely huge. Be interested to see what happens if they can get that economic break. Ooh, PTI, he didn't even take the shot on the first. I mean, not that he would have necessarily had it, but just being patient out there.
That's 2 rounds PTR with the AWP has been able to get the opening kill with that AWP.
If they can start to control that and just win that yard fight, even if they don't stick around and wait for it, just get a kill and run away, that's still really, really important. John G nearly getting caught, and he's had a bit of a rough start to this game. Yeah, they definitely know, and that means he's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, that dig is nice, though. A-Core, you have to imagine he's going to be forced back, especially the follow-up Molotov. This is perfect. Despite seeing him, Mad Lions haven't been able to exploit it, and now the rest of FPX is here, and they're mounting a very strong defense in yard.
And they're so focused on him being there that that's probably part of the reason why they lost some of those other kills, is that...
Oh no, that Molotov doesn't even spread.
No, it doesn't.
They've used so much utility to force John G out. That Molotov doesn't spread. They might not even realize he's still here.
They're thinking about it, but it's taken the attention of the entire team away from this. Molotov down.
That's the 3rd Molotov we've seen thrown
So
here.
ridiculous, isn't it? They're going to get Dapper killed finally, and John G waiting for his moment, and it sort of feels like it's right now. Cillian does go down, and it's a 4-on-2 at this point in time, and now just leaving Bubsky. Going to get 1 good headshot, and he'll get another follow-up, so making it expensive if nothing else. He has a little bit of time, and they're going to double up. Oh, this is so scary with the pistol leading as well. Bubsky, he's going to pick up 1, doesn't realize Crashies there. He's around the corner. I can't believe that he's still alive. Crashies gunning for him now and trying to see if he can hunt him down. The creep will not come out on top this time. Crashies will drop him instead, but that is way too expensive for FPX.
Way too costly, especially because John G played that about as close to perfect as you'll ever see someone play that scenario. That's one of those rounds where John G does most of his best work, is him just taking his hands off the the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Just letting the round play out. He did that so perfectly, kept them frozen outside, kept all their utility focused there. The fact that it even comes down into a 1-on-1 is actually almost depressing.
It is a bit sad because, you know, they were building something cool, you know, in that round. What a great shot from PTR. We didn't even get to see that from his point of view until the replay, but that looked really cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird how you can end up focusing so much on one person and you just lose the rest of the team behind it.
And the frustration of Acor was watching that pretty much the whole round, and he was going back to it as they started transitioning away, trying to find that timing, and that had, especially considering 3 Molotovs used, all of his attention for most of that round, had to have just been so frustrating. 2-round lead for Mad Lions, but they're out of money. FPX have put them on the brink. Both teams actually right on the edge. This is a huge round for how the rest of this half is going to play out. This is round number 9, and whoever loses this has no economy moving forward. Losing bonus not built up for either one of these squads either.
No, not quite yet. 5-3. Man, if it's Mad Lions that picked this one up, you feel like they're almost getting away with a little bit too much. FPX, the other ones, you know, definitely the underdog team in this fight. So if they could pick this up and make it 5-4, win the economic game early on here in the first half, really make a big difference. John G is back out there again, which seems like such a bold move. Like, could have been a free kill there for PTR. A little bit dangerous now. There's more people gunning for him, and that Krieg at range will... I mean, it's kind of almost made to take that fight. Yeah,
look at how that Krieg was able to pin him down as well. Ooh, there's the turn of the corner. Bubsky, creative position. It gets him nothing. Lobby control in the favor of FPX. So Mad Lions, all they really have is this outside hit. They have to make this split work, and you have to think they're going to be coming through mini with 2 players up above, and now Jonji's position revealed as well. And Acor can't go for the trade. Mitch with a double. I think Mad Lions that round is beat by uncertainty. They seem to have all the positions and changed the call as soon as Bubsky went down. And FPX handles it perfectly. 4-5, and FPX has won that all-important swing round.
Really well done. That was cool to see. And you're right. I mean, Mad Lions getting into some pretty deep positions, but unable to do much with it.
They never pulled the trigger on any of those attacks.
Yeah. And now it's really fun to see. I wonder if we're going to see them, maybe not in this round, but in some of the coming rounds, if they're going to have to use a Molotov for that John G position every time now. Because that's twice when you've run into it, and now you might just feel a need to, which in itself is a bit of a win for FPX if they start using grenades when, you know, just out of precaution.
Ooh, aggressive play from Roy. John G surely would have heard the footsteps. Nade coming out. And Mitch is handling business with the help of his teammates. Acor is now dropped on to mini, but this round is damn near impossible for Mad Lions to win. Okay, so there we are. There's the fight in FPX that we like to see, all tied up at 5-5.
No, this is really good. I mean, more or less everyone is playing well at the moment. John G had a bit of a rough time getting started, but he started to catch up ever so slowly. Everyone else is pretty much all at 7 or 8 kills. They're doing a really good job. 11th round.
This FPX lineup is just continuing to impress.
Yeah, what a weird roll of the dice from not even being considered or even on anyone's radar to actually doing just a lot.
Oh dear.
Nice spray. Dapper taking down Bubsky. That smoke did nothing at all to save him. That's a good opening frag.
2 Kriegs pass over to the CT side, and on Nuke, that can be a nightmare to deal with. John G still outside, a new position for him at the single box. And Dapper's rotating down the vents over to the secret stairs where John G has ironically been most of this half. So they'll be able to double up on defense. If they can stall them out from crossing a little bit longer, Dapper has a very strong position. That flashbang might be perfectly timed. He's going to peek up. What a shot from Acor. A quick reaction to save the day.
Probably save his teammate as well. It does give up the game, and look at how tagged they are. This is still a little bit dangerous. PTR turning the corner and a quick shot on Shush. And this is the great thing about these hallways. If you're good at playing that close combat AWPing, essentially, you just have so many corners to turn away from all of the time. Crashy's going down here. That was the bomb spotted. Mitch definitely knows. Going to be scoping up real quick to take down Roy. And this is looking like a great round for FPX once again. Acor. You know, 1 versus 3.
I tried to drop the bomb because Asilian was about to have an opening to the upper bomb site. He took out Crashies in the squeaky door room, and they thought that might be an ability to retreat and go shift to the A bomb site. Just couldn't get away. A-Core with no health. They know his position. He's not making it a secret, and he might just have to save.
Which is not completely safe either, is it? When you're in a 1 versus 3 and low on health.
I don't think any of his teammates can buy those, so it might not even be worth saving, which I think is why he's going for it there. He realizes, you know, everyone's going to be stuck right at 3,500. So without any kind of a plant, there's no point in him saving the gun, get the bonus money, and move forward. This was a round-saving shot. I mean, actually, I shouldn't even say that. It didn't save the round. But the round could have ended right there.
It could have, definitely. Yeah, and I mean, the flashbang could have been a little bit better to hit him, but I guess still.
I think it wasn't the positioning, it was the timing.
Yeah.
If he had thrown it maybe a half-second earlier.
Probably was. 6-5, and FPX with a bit of a lead all of a sudden. But not just that. That all-important economy also working out for them.
The huge battle that's really turned the tides of this match, or at least allowed FPX to stay in it, has been the fact they're handling outside much better in these last 4 rounds or so. They got beat up and bruised there from pistol round on. And PTR with the op has helped shore that up. Jonji with his positioning has helped shore that up. So good work from FPX so far in closing that gap in the defense. That Molotov is perfect.
Yeah, really, really good timing. And he's going to get back up as well coming in from hell, so should be no issue. There's PTR and a follow-up Molotov. More people showing up to defend the ramp, and absolutely nothing that Mad Lions could do about it. 7-5.
This is what's been so impressive about FPX, is you normally don't see this level of coordination and this level of patience of a team, like kind of coming out of nowhere. A lot of younger players, but everyone kind of no one overextending for fights. Everyone waiting for their teammate to come over and throw a flashbang, throw a Molotov, using utility to enable your teammates to have success.
Yeah, some really good discipline. See, the Danes have picked up rifles once again.
Look at the money on FPX now as well. They should be set for the rest of this half.
Yeah. What a luxury to have all of a sudden. Could have maybe tilted the other way. Flashbang, Jonji, again in that position. We've seen it so many times, but Mad Lion's gonna circumvent it, at least for now. A-Core is kind of paranoid about it for good reason. Oh, he's sneaking through the smoke. This is actually a very, very cool play. Roy coming back into it, but he's making a lot of noise and still hiding inside of the smoke, and they just don't know it. He's going to clear, and Roy will win that fight. I can't even believe that he did that. Mitch gets a kill and a follow-up. He's barely alive here. Could have easily gone down. Bubsky's gunning for him, but Mitch will stand his ground. That's an amazing triple kill. That could have been the end of the round right there for FPX, but somehow he steps it up.
Yeah, I mean, no one expected that position. No one expected 2 players to be there, so the trade's not coming through for Mad Lions. We said FPX was going to require some individual efforts. This is a big one for Mitch. We mentioned multiple players would have to step up and produce results. This is Mitch's round. He owns it. Triple kill to hang on to ramp room, and FPX have a 7-round streak, and they have a 3-round lead. God bless.
This is very cool, isn't it? And some
Mad
of the
Lions pick as well.
Mad Lions pick as well, and because they've kept the economy so good, some of the tricks that Mad Lions may want to try and do, I mean, they might actually do it in this round with the pistols and the grenades, but you know, some of those A rushes that you can normally do earlier on in the half, it's very tricky when FPX have all these grenades. If you just try and blow open the Squeak door and go for it, chances are you're going to run into the Molotov like this, and probably more grenades even behind it. We'll see if they're going to do it with a little bit of a delay maybe this time around. But still, this is super encouraging. FPX showing us something cool early on here. Trying to get through in spite of the grenades. Jonji will pick up a kill. He's in a good little corner behind the vent here. And they're getting completely crushed trying to get into the site. Not even close to getting onto it.
No, not even any. That utility didn't lead to any good fights for Mad Lions. Nice hold from FPX. 9-5 with 1 final round in the half. I did not expect this. We're going to get a timeout from Mad Lions as they're trying to stop the streak at 8. Trying to end this on a positive note, I guess.
Yeah, get one last round in there. But this is an amazing turnaround. Because they were looking quite shaky. It even looked like some of the fights that were being won early on from Mad Lions were so one-sided.
Yeah.
I was getting really nervous.
Well, and the map control they were able to get outside was massive. They were able to get up towards heaven and wrap around and climb onto the roof a number of times.
Right.
That didn't really lead to anything. FPX eventually just put a stop to it, and now Mad Lions is having trouble getting even the most basic progress on the map. So, yeah, this is very cool stuff. From the FPX defense. Mitch on 14 kills, Crashies 12 and 5, Dapper 10 and 6. And if you're Mad Lions, you know, a lot of the players that have been doing good for you so far in Flashpoint are a bit quiet. Acor 3 kills. He's been AWPing on the T side. Shush, another one of their highly rated players, 6 and 10.
Some of the AWPing for Acor we've seen, I mean, he's been out by that red container on the yard a couple of times, and it hasn't been him, you know, running into the fights, because that's kind of the style that we associate with him. But it's been slightly more conservative on the AWP side. Maybe that's not the right tactic. Mitch sneaking in, what a great kill with a Greek, and that probably should have been a kill. It would have been such a great little trap, but Crashes comes through to save the day and taking down Shush anyway. Now all of that lobby control gone for Mad Lions. They just have this push out here, and Dapper and John G are shutting that down as we speak.
I guess Mad Lions thought that with the amount of bodies that was crunching in lobby, that there wouldn't be a defense outside. They didn't use, look, Acor has a smoke. They didn't set up a wall to try and cross. So Mad Lions just get slaughtered, and it's a matter of time here. Mitch is coming up from the secret stairs, and he's going to shut Acor down for free. Headshot to the back, and FPX gets double digits in the opening half on defense, 10 to 5. That is a shocking start to the series.
Not what we were expecting at all. I think Mitch ending at 16 to 7 in kill deaths. That's really great. What a powerful beginning here for the underdog. We'll see how it goes in the second half. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. A bit of a surprise, shocking start, in fact, to this first half of Nuke, where, you know, it was the pick of Mad Lions. We thought they were pretty going to win it. It looked like they had a lot of control early on, and they were kind of running the whole show. And then it just turned around. Economic control went back in the favor of FPX, and they end 10-5 in the first half of Nuke. I think that's amazing.
It's also a really cool game plan from the defensive side for FPX. We saw some lobby crunches. Mitch did a spectacular job in ramp room. PTR and Janji started to pick up the pace outside and really defend against those outer hits. Everything went well for FPX at the end of that half. I think they ended with, what, 9 rounds in a row, actually. Excuse me. Bubsky watching for the cross, but they've already made it.
Oh, he turns around and takes down Mitch. That's a massive kill. Oh, but he's going to get completely surprised. They knew that they were running down there. That's a bit of a mistake. Acor going to get essentially double-teamed. It was PTR to sneak up behind him, but he really would have been dead either way. Asilian, that's so dangerous, just jumping down into the middle of nowhere. He could have been caught right then and there. Might be in a good position here for a couple of headshots, but they know where he is. Going to throw in one grenade. Nice headshot from Asilian. He's going to turn and look for the fight, but Nappa will take him down, and this is just very disjointed for Mad Lions. FPX with a big lead in a 1 versus 3 here. Shush, who's already very low on health, and surely no chance at all. FPX continuing and picking up the pistol in the second half. And they looked very much in control of that round.
It's now 10 straight for FPX. They just picked apart that Mad Lions defense. I mean, that is Mad Lions getting caught in transition, caught in rotation down to that lower bomb site. Everything was an individual fight.
I don't understand how they get the kill on Mitch and then they get so caught coming down those three hallways.
Yeah,
that seems so confusing.
Some miscomm, I guess, or but maybe Bubsky didn't have the timing. He's the one who got that kill in Squeaky Door. He's also the one who saw them crossing, so he should have known the timing of it, right? Janji with an early scout hit. He's down to 31 HP. And that smoke wall is not complete, and due to the fact that FPX bought 5 rifles, they are pretty much out of nades. 3 flashbangs and a Molotov for the rest of the round. That'll make attacking bomb sites, attacking ramp room very uncomfortable, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, especially if you get tagged, you know, just at every engagement. Could have had a couple of deagle shots ring in. That would have been interesting.
That little bit of pressure, nobody moved. I think FPX wanted somebody to get caught. But now they have to attack the lower bomb site. 1 flashbang, it's a brawl from here. And the rest of Mad Lions has put themselves in good positions.
Acor to go down, and some more deagle damage coming out. Bubsky will sneak in for a kill, and some good returns coming out now from the T side, which desperately needed. It was getting a little bit worrisome. It looked like some of them were being left a little bit on their own there. But a good recovery.
Yeah, that's great from FPX. Mad Lions got everyone into position. They had a heavy stack towards that lower bomb site. SMGs, Deagles were picked up. There was plenty of danger, especially with the lack of smokes to protect themselves. But FPX handled it admirably. 12-5, a 7-round lead for FPX. And things are looking grim. This is great. Obviously, I mean, the scoreline is phenomenal, but the good first half, followed by the pistol round win from FPX, because I feel like where we've seen them sometimes stall out, despite, you know, all the positives, is sometimes on these T sides. So, I mean, if they could just close this out quick with one real gun versus gun round, I think they're going to be very happy with that.
Absolutely. I'm definitely very impressed by the way that they're playing this game at the moment. And on the flip side, though, looking at Mad Lions, I mean, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but some of the players that we kind of expect to be there to maybe try and bail them out, we're not getting those big impact rounds at the moment.
5 kills on Acor, 7 kills on Shush. It's Roy with 11 and Bubsky with 10 to lead the way for Mad Lions. But yeah, it's certainly not, you know, a deep performance from this team that is so talented. So they've got a huge comeback to make, and they're gonna be put to test on their own map pick. They have to win 8 rounds just to tie things up, just to get back into the game. And this is the all-important. This is what I mentioned. If FPX can just straight up win this round, man, they're going to have what feels like it would be an easy rest of the half.
Quick dive coming through from John G with the Mac 10. Would have been interesting to see if he could have even just stayed alive a bit longer. Gonna try and make the crossing out here. Smokes covering everything. Acor just some blind shots, and he's not gonna connect. Roy, though, with an interesting flank around. They do seem to be aware that something could be up Dapper. You could see him kind of looking for it. Roy gonna go and investigate on the other side, where he's not gonna find anybody at all, but it might still be some good information to have, and if he goes long enough, maybe he'll find Crashies. It's hard to say.
Well, Crashies is going to have to move because this smoke is going to clear, so how long can he hold this angle? They're very, very aware of the possibility. Crashies misses a chance. 3 versus 5, but look at the positioning from FPX. This backstab is so brutal. They have no idea. There's the first, there's the second. PTR was holding on as long as possible, and Dagger forced his hand. A nice double kill as Acor can get nothing coming up the ladder. And FPX has found themselves back in control of the round.
Yeah, and they know where that flank was coming from, so they definitely know where one of the players is as well.
Holy hell, they have to save.
Yeah, they actually have to give this one up. That's... It's so... I'm kind of shocked that no one was looking for Mad Lions, but at the same time...
But that would fit the bill with what we kind of saw in Pissed Around, Bubsky with that mistiming or miscommunication or rotation. Again, miscommunication. Like Roy, I guess maybe with the way that he played that, pushing through the smokes outside to wrap around lobby, didn't actually see anyone. But you had to have at least been calling out that heaven is open, that outside is open, that players can get there. So at least someone is aware of the possibility enough to check every, 5 seconds or so. The fact that FPX is able to just walk all the way out those rafters and, this is crazy amounts of map control. PTR is looking at both of those players for so long.
Yeah. That's rough, because if you're Mad Lions up until that point, you're thinking, we've kind of got this. We had the great flank in lobby. We're probably winning this round.
13 in a row for FPX.
It's super cool to see. I'm so excited that FPX are playing this well, because we've seen some glimmers out of them in the past couple of games, right?
Hey, FPX is playing for a full-time contract.
Yeah, they're going for it. Saying this might have just been some good fortune, but we're actually here to show what we can do.
Now pay me.
Yeah, someone should. 17 and 7 on Dapper, 18 and 8 on Mitch. Crashies at 16 and 6. Got some sort of nice symmetry going on. 20th round here. Smoke is going to be for Hell, I believe, and there's no AWP, but it still might be worth doing.
Nice flashbang outside, but again, another miscue out of Mad Lions. Not able to close out that kill on Dapper. He's down at 8 HP, so he's going to be limited in what he can accomplish in the round, but Mad Lions might not know that, so he can turn into someone who just watches the flank, make sure they don't get wrapped from behind. 2 smokes to play with for FPX and 4 players outside.
Roy, who got grenaded earlier, down to 52. Gonna re-engage that smoke wall. Ooh, and he nearly could have found Dapper. That would have actually been not such a bad kill to discover all of a sudden. He does go down eventually to Roy outside, and now let's see John G's to fall next. And they know what's coming. They definitely know it's this B-bomb side. Asilian hiding down here, and it's hard for them to check everything. They're trying their very best, and Mitch will actually get a kill, and they'll get the bomb plant down. It's something they can definitely work with, but Roy swings into the bomb side, taking down Mitch, and now PTR back here. He is just trying to see if he can maybe jiggle his way out of this one. It's not going to happen. And Acor will take him down.
That's a pretty scary round, though. I think the retake from Mad Lions was much faster than FPX expected, and Mitch gets caught off guard. But listen, finally, Mad Lions put a stop to the streak. 13 rounds straight comes to an end for FPX's 6th round for Mad Lions. They're first in the second half, and they must build upon it. Like, FPX has them by the balls at this point in the map.
You're not wrong. They did delay the bomb defuse there to get another AK-47 picked up.
And a Krieg on Roy.
And a Krieg. So that's reasonable. Yeah. They need to... You get their balls back, Jason, as it were.
Yeah. It's never fun to have your balls in someone else's hand. Well, actually, I shouldn't say never.
Depends on their intentions in many ways.
Depends on the context.
Yeah, but these are bears, so you can't expect them to be gentle in any way whatsoever.
No,
it's getting rough.
They really have no finesse with those giant bear mitts.
Yeah, I think even if the Bears had good intentions, it still might not work out.
Still might be an issue.
I don't know if anyone's had this experience, but you can tweet at Jason if you have.
Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
We've got orbs on both sides now, which is something. I'm still waiting for Acor. He is, my personal hero, and it's been pretty disappointing this game. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna give up on him or anything. I'm just saying.
It's the classic don't meet your heroes.
Something like that.
Yep, eternally disappointed. Roy's about to have a fun time. Well, maybe not fun, but he's about to have a lot of action his way. Ooh, nice smoke to the door, 54 seconds. That is going to delay things massively till, what, like 37, 38 seconds is when that smoke at door will clear.
Yeah, and that's definitely an issue. They do not actually have any more smokes or Molotovs inside of the bomb site. All they have is flashbangs, and it's going to be hard to throw them when this hit comes. So FPX might actually be onto something great here. Nice Molotov as well. Dapper will be taking down Roy, and a bit of confusion at the door. Somebody closed it behind him. Bubsky will take down John G. 25 seconds, in fact, now. And Bubsky's fallen all the way back here with the Krieg, and they're going to change their minds. They want to go for the A-bomb site instead. Shush holding it. Great double kill for him. That might have just saved them. And A-Core trying to go for that wide peek. Scoped him with the AWP. Bubsky keeping PTR occupied. He's going to win the fight on the ladder, and it should be a good fight here against Dapper in a 1 versus 3. They're both coming from the upper and out of the ladder as well. Bubsky will win the fight against Dapper. So, holding on, Mad Lions, but there were a lot of variables in this fight, and it could have gone the other way. Yeah, just barely hanging on. Some nice kills, and that confusion that you mentioned at door is what allowed Bubsky to get that first kill with no opportunity for a trade. That first player goes down vents a good 3 to 5 seconds before his second teammate can even consider it. So they had to adjust and re-attack that upper bomb site. And unfortunately, they just get thinned out. 2 rounds in a row for Mad Lions, starting to look a little bit better. Now they've got 2 Kriegs still on the CT side. Actually, excuse me, 3 Kriegs still. Nope, just 2. Just the 2, and an orb. But that is still pretty scary. The money's starting to get a little bit nice for Mad Lions, starting to feel comfortable. They have all the Molotovs, they have all the smokes, they have everything to delay and slow down any kind of fast-paced attack. But that's 3 rounds in a row that FPX has been able to get the bomb planted. Trying to get through. They do actually get a trade. And they've been throwing, Dapper's been throwing that same Molotov that lands on the hut really quickly. He's been doing it a couple of times, even when they don't really use it for anything. Yeah, just conditioning him to let him know that that Molotov is going to be there every single round, so it might confuse if they want to go for a fast-paced upper hit. Going up against the AWP and ramp room, A-Core is going to have a chance for impact, and he's got the first. He's sticking around for the fight. It's a little bit scary. He's got some backup coming in from Shush if he needs it. See if he's going to be able to get the chance. He definitely saw something there, but didn't want to take the shot just yet. And he's a bit worried that someone has maybe snuck by that he just doesn't know about, so can't really blame him for it. Shush getting the kill on Dapper and then jumping down. This is what FPX cannot have happened throughout this half. They cannot run into so many obstacles that they just kind of filter back into plan B and just get picked off as they transition. Shush with 1 kill before the rest of the attack comes in. It's all on Mitch. And Mad Lions starting to do a great job. And this is the difficulty. This is where the T side for FPX can run into some troubles. If they're not getting that entry kill, if they're losing that opening battle, they have a lot of problems recovering when plan A fails and when they're down 4 on 5. And they cannot fall into that trap repeatedly, which is easier said than done, admittedly. It is easy. Yeah, I mean, you look at it now and you think, man, if they just keep getting picked off one at a time, trying to get anywhere, even if they trade that one early on, it's still... Once they ran into A-Core, they were just slowing down and not really doing anything past that. It's one of the tough parts about Nuke is especially, you know, in ramp room and in lobby when you attack upper through hut and squeaky door. Like, if you're going to go ramp room and get stalled out and just kind of quietly walk back to lobby, if you're going to think that you can just kind of get a pick into that upper bomb site quietly with no use of utility, you're wrong. Like, there's too many crazy angles. You have to use utility just to give yourself some semblance of safety. Yeah. And that's where Shush is able to just add 1 kill onto it and find a safe place inside the bomb site. It's going to be a pretty tough, pretty difficult T-half from here on out for FPX. They're back to a half-buy with pistols and utility, but Mad Lions are starting to build into a very scary beast. What a shame it would be for FPX if they weren't able to hold on to this. It'd be so crushing. Because you'd go into Dust 2 just thinking, man, this could have really been. Bubsky with a bit of an easy win there. The Krieg definitely taking care of the pistols just fine. And yeah, that was no problem at all. It's 9-14 though, and you were talking about this even early on. If they could just win that first rifle round and, you know, really shut them down, that would be such a comfort. Well, they did. Yeah, they did win that first. Mad Lions saved the 2 weapons in that first rifle round, but I mean, from there on, it's been all Mad Lions. They've won the last 4 in a row. And now the comeback is feeling much more doable. Just 5 rounds away for this Danish team. Favorites
coming into the Flashpoint playoffs. The #1 seed coming into the Flashpoint playoffs.
Yeah, favorites for a good reason.
This is what scares me too about FPX's offense so far, is I feel like this is about the 3rd time that we've seen them line up for just a full set piece into the upper bomb site. It's a fake.
See if it's going to work or not. Cillian hearing it, wants to back on out and doesn't want to challenge. No one there over at the crossfire position to try and do anything, so they're gonna have the ramp. They're gonna be able to get down there pretty quickly. If they can win one good fight and put the bomb up before too many people show up, that's gonna be huge. Bit of a setup there with Bobsky and a Cillian coming in on the other one. That's exactly how you want a crossfire to work.
I think they actually had one other smoke, but PTR has one of them that could have been used for windows. If that's the only smoke they had, it's a huge mistake. And yeah, he's the lurker, but in fact, again, you don't remember this happened on the 2nd round as well. Attacking into that lower bomb site without any kind of utility, without getting any picks, there's just, again, too many angles to not have the nades to make that work.
Yeah, and it's so costly, right? Because when Bobsky gets the first kill, obviously everyone is looking at the window, and a Cillian can sneak in another one, and it just goes horribly wrong from there on out.
You just need to negate that window, negate the doors, the Molotovs, the smokes to block off those angles, and you really turn that crossfire into 2 individual players. 4 rounds back now for Mad Lions. I think this next round from FPX, when they have rifles, I think if you're calling for FPX, you need to loosen things up. Less of a set piece. That was a nice little fake, and it actually worked pretty decently. But I think you need to go outside. You need to challenge outside. We haven't seen a whole lot of that.
Ooh, wow. That was a clean shot.
Crashies here's one drop into vents. He hears another one transition from mini into the upper bomb site itself.
We've got a lot of outside control right now. Would be a classic scenario if this is the one round that they weirdly pick up, even though they,
They've got a real chance. They're pressuring a lot of different parts of the map, and Bobsky is pretty much all alone. If that's a win for Mitch, that would have been dangerous. Shush is in a huge fight for perhaps the entire round.
Sees that. Grenade is out. I was going to say that's a little bit scary. Roy will get one, and Shush with the follow-up, and now it is looking a little bit grim for FPX. 3-on-3, sure, but they definitely had a big chance in this round. Roy will be ready for PTR as well, and almost a second challenge. That was Crashies trying to make it around the corner, but he can't. If he swings too wide, he was either going to get shot in the back or just go down. So a bit of a shame. I mean, some good fighting them in this round, but not quite able to follow through. 11-14 though.
Yeah, once we fall into the 3-on-3, no one from FPX, they're not able to work together. Different locations, fighting different opponents. 3 rounds back is Mad Lions. FPX just need 2 rounds to close out this opening map to steal the pick of Mad Lions away from them in this series. And PTR has gone to the op, which has to make you feel like outside is going to be pressured. Like, you have to feel like FPX is finally going to put some bodies out there to maybe cross over, maybe take some fights. Boost it up. And it's Roy to get in towards the top of secret stairs.
Normally I would say maybe I wouldn't want to throw PTR against Acor at the moment, but he's not hitting that many shots, Acor. If you can win that one fight, maybe that's all you need to try and put an end to this map. Roy looking over. It's a bit of a one-way smoke, and that works perfectly to take down John G, who was even himself playing the same position. And actually, Roy, instead of falling back, which is, let's say, the textbook kind of a play, you're happy to do that, he's just going to stick around outside. He did actually look into that, but Acor will take down Dapper, and a follow-up kill taking down Mitch, or whatever else was going to happen. This is now a lost round for FPX, surely.
This is getting scary now. Nothing FPX have done in this T-half after those initial 4 rounds has worked.
Oh no.
PTR goes down for free. It's just Crashies. I have to feel like there's another timeout coming here for FPX. And the problem is, now they have the full losing bonus, it's great. But they've stopped having access to plants. Rounds 19, 20, and 21. They got 3 plants in a row. Well, it's been 5 rounds now for Mad Lions where they've shut things out. They've closed the bomb sites down. They haven't lost more than 2 players in a round in the past, holy hell, 7 during this streak.
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. They're doing so well at the moment.
And it's the nightmare scenario too. If you're FPX, you were piling on them, you had the advantage, you have a huge lead, and now the players are starting to wake up. Acor is hitting some shots, so Mad Lions have survived long enough in this map for the rest of the individuals to kind of wake up and come alive, and now as a team they're going to start playing better as well.
Yeah, I mean, they might have been a little bit slow out the gate, but yeah, this will definitely wake everyone up.
And probably a little bit shocked.
Yeah.
Like shell-shocked. They went on what, I think it was like some mental, like a 13-round losing streak.
Yeah.
Like, when you wake up from that, you're like, oh, okay, here we are, finally.
We actually can do this. Oh, I can't believe it. 14-12. Also, just a small point, but if, you know, I'm always interested. Roy using the M4A1 and actually top fragging at the moment, but he seems to be pretty effective with it. There aren't that many M4A1 players left, are there? It's like him and Forrest and maybe one or two other people.
Not many, and I'm not even sure it's something admirable at this point.
Just stubbornness?
Yeah, it's like when Nico wasn't using the Krieg or the AUG, it was like, yeah, I mean, I respect your stand of morality on the weaponry,
But you're wrong.
But you should be using, yeah, you should be using the Krieg.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll pick the M4A1 over the Krieg.
You never know.
No one is that insane.
Ooh, Mitch had a chance. Good conversion from Bubsky. Nice trade.
Maybe the Makulele or something. But no one else.
He uses the M4A1 in 6 chairs.
Oh man, 1 versus 3. It's a good kill. It's a good effort. No way to know that there was going to be a follow-up player there. Still, I mean, that's a close-ish kind of round, even though they looked like they were fighting, you know, a little bit on the back for the whole time. Still, 13-14. It must be such a sinking feeling right now if you're on the FPX team, just seeing it coming and not being able to stop it. Landslide that's wiping out the entire village at the moment.
I would like to see them, I mean, we haven't really seen the test at all. I'd like to see something aggressive. FPX, get on towards the mini roof and really apply some pressure. Like your slow tactics, your set pieces haven't worked. FPX has caught all the way up based off of you doing that, running fakes towards the upper bomb site, trying to hit ramp room. Try getting aggressive, try being super, super fast paced, and maybe catch them off with miscommunication, which an awkward timing, maybe an awkward flashbang catches somebody.
This is a bit of a standoff. And looks like PTR is going to be calling it off instead. Asilian's got a second AWP, but I'm pretty sure he also has an M4 on the ground somewhere. I don't know if he brought it all the way with him, but I'm pretty sure we saw him juggling an M4 out of CT spawn. So that might be interesting. Yep, there he is picking it up. He's actually got both of them there. So he's pretty heavily equipped in the ramp room. Let's see if that's going to work out.
Acor is so lucky to be alive. Mitch, oh, he's lucky as well. That's a great rebuttal. Roy messed that up. He had the chance.
Yeah.
And Acor, while we're on the subject, is fortunate to be alive as well. He ran the gauntlet against that Krieg on top of Twinkie. Or Silo.
Happy with Twinkie. Good smoke to block that off. Acor trying to reposition as much as he can, but got to be very careful. Yeah, PTR is ready. 45 seconds. Now, FPX just have to basically not mess up the time here and come up with a plan and follow through. I think that's really the only thing that they need to do there. Bringing the bomb outside, but again, I'm so worried about the time in this round.
Yeah, the timing is going to be really, really painful. It's a lobby crunch coming in, and I think they're spending way too much time allowing Jonji to wrap around Heaven. Crash, he's in some trouble. There's a player beneath him. Asilian is just the bait. Shush is coming in. Now it's a freebie. Mitch has found 1 kill as well, but they're locked out of this upper bomb site. But actually, the bomb is going low. It's Bubsky. He's got a real chance to put a stop to this. 15 seconds on the clock.
Running right in to take down Dapper, and now PTR. How is he actually going to get the bomb plant down? He's being shot at the back. He's only just around the corner. Flashbang won't do anything to him at all, but PTR's gone down and no bomb plant happening. Oh no, they're so close, but they don't have time for it. It's impossible to find Bubsky at this point. 14-14. They tied up Mad Lions in what feels like probably the most heartbreaking round yet.
FPX had all the pieces coming together perfectly for an upper hit, and they attacked lower. They had Jonji wrapping around. They had a player in lobby watching for the crunch who spotted 2 players. They had everything they needed to take that upper bomb site except for the bomb and 1 player going down secret stairs to lower the whole time. That is a strategy that just slowly drifted away from FPX, which is not unusual, and an inexperienced team playing at this level of Counter-Strike with these stakes. But man, they had everything set up perfectly to take that upper bomb site.
Yeah, these are some hard lessons that everyone has to learn.
This is not when you want to be learning those lessons.
No, but that's the only time you can, right? That's the problem, is you won't learn these lessons playing, you know, in scrims and practice matches and all the rest of it. That it's not going to work out that way.
I would imagine that the communication in that round for FPX was very frantic, with like 2 to 3 different players having different ideas based off of what they see on the map at that one time. And, oh dear, this is so tough. 14-14.
That's a moment, I think, where any plan that everyone follows through on is going to be better than whatever the best plan technically would have been, as long as, you know, the problem is if only half the teams are like, yeah, we're doing this, it's not going to be enough. This is an opening, though. Dapper and John G taking a kill each to try and get into the bomb site, and Shush down here, he's going to pick up one, another one coming from the smoke. Oh no, Shush to shut down the entire A offense here, and that is going to be the round. A quad kill at the end of it. What a ridiculous defense they had that round, FPX. More heartbreak to come. If someone's not crying on that team right now, I don't know what it'll take.
That's what has made Shush so impressive throughout Flashpoints. He's one of the highest rated players for Mad Lions in the tournament, and he has been spectacular. 21-19, that is a huge quad kill. A 3-on-5 into a straight-up victory thanks to Shush's efforts. And there it is. I even like that from FPX, although I will say, seems like a mistake from Mad Lions. You have won every round by not having to be aggressive. FPX has not been able to penetrate this defense in some time. Don't take those aggressive fights. Don't peek into them and give them an opportunity like that.
Yeah, balls are in the other paws now, Jason. And it's not got any better Lion balls.
Yeah, Lions not known to be great with ball handling.
Definitely not. Roy out here. That's a very hard fight to win. I think, yeah, if he could have extended it a bit or waited for his teammate, that would have been it. But they're charging the corner, and Bobsky will take someone right down, goes back for more. He flashes himself and gets shut down by Dapper. Now A-Core comes charging in with the AWP, but don't forget, this is what he's very good at. And he'll pick up one kill, ready for the second one. He takes down PTR, jumping down. There could have easily been someone there. This is one of the reasons why he is such a mad player. He's actually hunting him close range. He got that and he'll follow it up. What a madman. Now it's Crashies in a 1 versus 3, just wondering what happened to his team, and Mad Lions will take it 16-14. What a powerful start to this series.
Holy hell, that last round. We waited the whole map for that, and it's fine. I'm fine with it.
That's why I love A-Core.
That's the A-Core that we want to see. What a comeback. 16-14. Remember, there were 13 rounds straight. I think it was, what, 14-5 when that comeback began?
Yeah.
Mad Lions, that's impressive. I cannot believe FPX let them wake up like that. Either way, map 2 is coming up next, and if we get that Mad Lions, this could be a quick one. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.